Hello friends, and welcome to this month's Rudolph Day. It is a beautiful, beautiful day in England today, 17 whole degrees, and I am just loving the summer weather. With today's weather, it's been a lot nicer than it has been for the last sort of week and a half. I've had a horrible cold and a terrible cold sore that just seemed to have a life of its own. But I'm on the mend now, thank goodness for that, and just in time for Rudolph Day. If you're not familiar with Rudolph Day, I'm not 100% sure how it started, but Rudolph Day is a day during the month, on the 25th of that month, where we start looking at everything to do with Christmas. So you could start planning for Christmas, you could just watch a Christmas film or read a Christmas book, but it's just a little way of, as Charles Dickens said, keeping Christmas in our hearts the whole year through. So this is what we like to do on Rudolph Day, and on Rudolph Day I like to give you a few, we can call them assignments or challenges or whatever you'd like, but I'll give you a few ideas of things that you could do on Rudolph Day, things you could look into if you haven't already heard of them, and this month's ones are quite interesting, I must admit. So number one on the Rudolph Day assignments is to start up a list. Now, you might have already started your Christmas shopping in the post-Christmas sales, or you might have bought a couple of things and squirreled them away when you've seen them from January up until now. And if you have, I want you to, if you haven't already, because I know some of you have been following me for a while and you are pretty good at this, if you haven't already, I'd like you to start a list of who you need to buy gifts for and what you've already bought. Keep it on your phone, and also if you like a paper copy, but keeping it on your phone is such a great way to make sure that you have that information on hand when you go out shopping or when you go on holiday, or, you know, for those instances where you see something you think somebody might like. That way you can jog your memory and see if you have got, or you've already got a present for them, or and if you have, you can consider the item you're looking at for their birthday present, or, you know, a Mother's Day present, Father's Day, that kind of thing. So it's really good to have that list out and about with you. In the comments section below, I will leave a link to the Christmas planner that I created for free on my blog, so that you can go and have a look there and download that and start using that if you would like a paper copy. The second Rudolph assignment for this month is to listen to the King's Choir version of Once in Royal David City. This is one of the most beautiful Christmas carols I have ever heard, and every single year while we have our Christmas lunch or Christmas dinner, we listen to the King's Choir Christmas carols because they are just so beautiful, so traditional, and Once in Royal David City is my favourite. And here's a little bit of information I found on Wikipedia about that particular song. So, Once in Royal David City is a Christmas carol originally written as a poem by Cecil Frances Alexander. The carol was first published in 1848 in her hymn book, Hymns for Little Children. A year later, the English organist Henry John Gauntlet discovered the poem and set it to music. Since 1919, the Festival of Nine Lessons and Carols at the King's Choir Chapel, Cambridge, has begun its Christmas Eve service with Dr. Arthur Henry Mann's arrangement of Once in Royal David City as the processional hymn. Mann was an organist at King's between 1876 and 1929. In Mann's arrangement, the first version is sung by a boy chorister of the college choir as a solo. The second verse is sung by the choir, and the congregation joins in on the third verse. Excluding the first verse, the hymn is accompanied by the organ. According to the tradition of the King's College Choir, the soloist of this hymn is usually chosen right before the performance, when the choir master decides whose voice is strongest on the day prior to the start of the broadcast. How terrifying must that be? Some of these young boys are really quite young, and can you imagine that any one of you can be chosen on the day, on the spot, to sing a solo that's going to be broadcast on British live television? No pressure then. I will leave a link down for you below so that you can listen to this beautiful, beautiful song if you're not familiar with it. It's one of my favorites and I'm sure you'll love it just as much as I do. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what your favorite Christmas carol is and what you think of this version. In this month's Rudolph Assignment book or film, we are looking at A Christmas Carol. Now, if you're familiar with the story, if you've read it by Charles Dickens, you will know that it is much loved. There was recently, when I say recently, I mean 2019, a BBC, I think it was a series that was brought out of A Christmas Carol, and it's a bit of a chilling story, I must admit. It's a lot more dramatised than a lot of the versions I've seen previously, where some of the characters could be quite comedic. But it is an amazing version, and if you can get hold of it, I'll try and find a link and leave it down below for you to watch and where you can purchase it if you would like to. If you're not familiar with Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, I would highly recommend that you watch it. I know that it has been done in play form, which I have seen as well, and there are many different versions. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the first version I ever saw was with Bill Murray. I think it was Bill Murray. If I've got that wrong, I'll just leave it down below here and let you know who the original was. But I think that was in the 90s, showing my age. And the fairy, one of the ghosts that visits Ebenezer Scrooge, was actually quite comic. So I'll leave that link down below as well if you're interested in watching that one. But have a little watch this month, or read the book and let me know what you think. The book I'm using this month to get my Rudolph Assignment recipe out of is the Southern Living Christmas Cookbook. I got this at a charity shop, I believe, or was it a car boot sale? I can't really remember, but I know that it was secondhand when I got it because it has a lovely inscription in the most beautiful curly Q handwriting. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. I don't know if you can see it. But this cookbook is just stunning. It's got some beautiful, beautiful recipes, all sorts of different recipes. We're talking, and it's also got the most beautiful pictures. I mean, just look at that. Some of the pictures are just absolutely stunning. And I need to find this picture and show you. It just says Christmas to me. Look at that. How beautiful. So it's got some beautiful pictures, but that doesn't mean it's picture heavy. It really isn't. It has tons of recipes. Some of the recipes just required products that we don't necessarily have, so the recipes probably won't turn out 100% as they were intended, but I'm sure we can find really good substitutes here in the UK. And rather than trying a sweet treat this month, I decided to go for a dinner dish. I decided to try this recipe here. It is an apricot glazed pork tenderloin with couscous. Now, I don't know that this recipe is specifically festive or specifically Christmas inspired. However, I do know that in America, Thanksgiving seems to be the big sort of feasting celebration of the year, with Christmas being the sort of runner-up, if you like, in terms of feasting and having a big meal. And I know that a lot of American families, also I've read online, have alternative dinners rather than having a roast turkey. So there's a lot of recipes in here that could quite easily be something a little bit different that you wouldn't necessarily do every night, that you could use as your Christmas dinner, because it isn't the same turkey again, because you would have just had it in November if you are American and had Thanksgiving. But this recipe was absolutely gorgeous. It uses a pork tenderloin and apricot preserves, and the couscous was just so lovely, with lovely nuts and dried apricots, diced dried apricots. It was really lovely and my family enjoyed it. So I think that may actually become a recipe in our home, and I may use something next time like a pork chop instead of pork tenderloin. Because pork tenderloin can be a bit expensive. So if this is a recipe you'd like to try, I'll see if I can find a link to it elsewhere. Otherwise I'll try and put it in the box down below. If you wanted to try this and you didn't want to use pork tenderloin and you had pork chops, you could use those instead. But yes, this recipe was absolutely delicious and we will be trying it again. Last Rudolph assignment was more of a challenge to myself. Last year I was so fortunate to find in a charity shop one of my all-time favorite dinner services, and that I've been after for years, and it was on my wish list, and just one of those things that I felt I couldn't justify. I actually found the plates, the side plates and the dessert bowls with a 3 set of dipping bowls at a charity shop for an absolute song. Decided that rather than just bringing them out only at Christmas, I'm going to bring them out every month, every single month at Rudolph Day. So this month for the Rudolph Assignment, I made those apricot glazed pork chops and the jeweled couscous, and we had them on our Christmas crockery. It was so beautiful and it was so lovely to have them out again. I don't think it makes them any less special because we're using them once a month as opposed to only at Christmas, but it was just so lovely to do and my family really enjoyed it. So I'm definitely going to be bringing those out every month on Rudolph Day. As you'll be able to tell from this video, because Rudolph Day falls on the 25th and because I can't tell you what I've been doing or show you what I've done, I have to film the dinner or the recipe I make before the video. So that's what we did. We did that last night and I'm filming this today so I can get it out to you for tomorrow, so you can see what we've been up to on Rudolph Day. That unfortunately is just the sort of trick of YouTube. It's like, oh look, this is what we did and here's what I made earlier, you know, that old chestnut. So that is this month's Rudolph Day assignments. I just wanted to let you know that there are going to be some major changes happening at this channel in the next few months. I've got some exciting things coming up, some exciting new items and some exciting new videos, and I just thought I would let you know. I'll update you as I go along in the community tab so you can have a look and see what's going on and how things are going to be changing and what new exciting things are going to be taking place here. So stay tuned. Until next time, friends, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It does wonders for the channel, and leave a comment down below so that these videos get recommended on YouTube and other people get to share the joy with us. Until next time, friends, keep calm and be merry.